Hi, this is Shadi, and today I decided we're gonna have a little fun video. Now, we're always discussing very serious topic, history, origins of technique, who came up with it, is it better, this jiu-jitsu surpassed judo, very intense conversations down in the comments. So today I decided that we're gonna look at submissions found in judo but in WWE, but done in a very humorous fashion. Now, before I start this video, I just want to say this, that I think any one of us learned a lot of submissions just by watching WWE or professional wrestling. Professional wrestling can be a great way to teach you that the existence of techniques, that they work somewhat, and it is fun to execute a certain technique. But once you get into grappling, specifically something as serious as jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo, you would know that a lot of these things that they pull are just not real. And also when you start to look at specifically submissions, this is where you look with a critical eye. But everything else, when it comes to slamming and throwing, etc., it is 100% real. I'm sure the mats are done in a way to protect them, to take as much hits as possible and staying safe. So, and also there is the communication between the two. So I'm not knocking it down 100%. You do have to be athletic to be a professional wrestler, but looking at it with a critical eye, specifically the submissions, it can be a little bit entertaining. So there are, like, for example here, this like Alexa Bliss is begging Ronda while she could have moved away easily. Now the armbar looks legit. You have some submissions that look absolutely legit, like the toe hold here, how he crossed his legs doing the leg knot. This is Ashidori. Garami, the figure 4 toe hold. Kurt Angle is a former Olympic wrestler, so if he wants to demonstrate a technique, he will do it 100% right, similar to Ronda and Brock Lesnar. So not everything looks a little bit funny. So here, the next one is a great example. The rear naked choke by Randy Orton, how he's holding the head almost on the forehead, barely squeezing, putting his hand on the face. That would never work in a million lifetimes. So for those of you who don't know or getting new into jiu-jitsu or judo, the rear naked choke can work in both ways. First, you can choke via the trachea, as the man is demonstrating here in front of you, or it can be done via the carotid arteries, which block the blood flow to the head. So the trachea, you will feel it immediately, and it hurts a lot. Specifically how like you do an S grip and you choke with the wrist of the forearm or the bone of the forearm, like here. So, or like the rear naked choke you see usually with jiu-jitsu and judo. So I think Randy Orton switched from variation to another, but the way he was grabbing the forehead and the face, it just looks completely off, and anyone with a little bit of grappling would know that this is just not executed well. So the next one here is a quote-unquote a triangle choke, like a head scissors. Undertaker actually slips his hand in, and you hear Michael Cole saying, this is an old jiu-jitsu move. The fact that Undertaker slipped his hand into the head scissor was just astonishing for anyone who knows a little bit about grappling. You would never want to leave one arm in and one arm out. Undertaker could have easily gone for like a double underhook pass, but he actually put his arm in and put it on Kurt Angle's shoulder. He could have either gone for an armbar, or it's a clear triangle choke that he's giving to him, but since there's the pin, they wanted to do something else. So triangle choke is a very versatile submission. You can fight it from almost anywhere, any position, bottom position, top position, any sort of guard, lasso, De La Hiva, spider, or any variation of the open guard, the closed guard. So it's a very versatile choke. You have to be very skilled at it, positioning yourself, or have very good flexibility. So it's like I said, it's amazing that he slipped one arm in. And even like if he didn't slip the one arm in, Michael Cole was already saying This is a triangle choke, an old jiu-jitsu move, and it wasn't even a triangle. Just from a historical standpoint, this is one of the last submissions to be ever invented in judo, invented by Kanemitsu Yachiyoe in 1921 to beat Tsunetane Oda's team. So that is one of the greatest inventions in martial arts history, in my opinion. I will always tell the story because it is so fascinating, and it created arguably the greatest submission that we have today. So the next one, I saved the best for last. So the last one is a quote-unquote knee bar mixed with a heel hook. Here he goes for a side knee bar and then finishes with like an ankle lock and then hooks the heel. It's absolutely catastrophic. Anyone with a little grappling knowledge, you would know that he's doing barely nothing to Undertaker. So first we start with the knee bar. Here you see a right knee bar being done. This is one of the earliest evidence. It was invented again in 1921 by the same man, Kanemitsu Yachiyoe. Here you see, so an arm bar works basically like a the knee bar works basically like an arm bar. You'd have to have the knee facing the hara, or like the core, and as Tori extends his hips, he creates braking mechanism on the knee, making it bend in the way that it doesn't want to bend, and ultimately breaking it. It is incredibly painful and dangerous. Here you see it. Tom DeBlas is actually demonstrating an escape, but as you understand, it has the same mechanics as the armbar, and Undertaker's case, his knee was on the side, kind of like doing an inside heel hook, but he actually hooked the heel but did not have an actual grip, as you see here Craig Jones demonstrating. You can either have like a butterfly hook or like a gable grip, or like a rear naked choke type grip. Craig Jones demonstrated this very recently. So this is what a heel hook does. In the case of Undertaker and Goldberg, it was an inside heel hook like this one here, but you have to hook the heel and actually finish with a very tight grip, extending the hips in order to really stretch out the ligaments in the knee and the ankle as well. The difference between the inside and the outside is that the outside heel hook, you have the tendons towards the outside of the ankle that are easily snappable, like in a figure 4 toe hold, and once they snap, it continues creating torsion on the knee. So they argue that it is safer the outside, yes, because it targets the ankle first before it starts damaging the knee, while on the inside, the ligament on the inside of the ankle is very strong, so it barely breaks, or it's very solid compared to the outside, so the damage goes right to the knee first. In the case of the inside heel hook, here you see in front of you. So this is just a little video I wanted to do. It's fun. It's something that we like to do, especially after when you do a few years of grappling, whether it's judo, jiu-jitsu. Here you see, for example, the throws demonstrated by Ronda Rousey were 100% legit. She is an Olympian and also former UFC champion. Took her judo and showed how well it works in the octagon. Now, when it comes to judo working itself, there is a lot of great superstars that have demonstrated it. Not only Ronda Rousey, but when it comes to submissions and leg locks, yes, they are banned in judo, but the high percentage of tapping in MMA comes from upper body submissions. Very rarely the leg locks, since you have the striking element involved. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't work, it does work, but upper body will most likely work as a submission in comparison to leg locks. So I figured this is a very fun video to make, showing the bad form of submissions being done, the stuff that we learn as white belts, here being done in a very terrible way. Now, you can argue that, oh, there's the safety of your partner. Yes, I understand, but you can make it look right and not actually squeeze or extend the hips or anything, but make it look like a solid submission. In the case of the toe hold we saw earlier, Drew McIntyre demonstrating on Kurt Angle. So like I said, it's a great introduction to slams, technique, grappling, so on and so forth. But you need to go and train and actually spar. So if you have anything else to add, let me know down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon. I have exclusive content